Alright, welcome everybody to another episode of the SUMDAYS podcast. It's definitely been a while, but we're back and we're strong.
Okay.
If you guys forgot, I'm one of your hosts, Jet, and I'm also joined here by our two other hosts, Jonathan and Josh.
What's up?
Alright.
What's good?
Bro.
You love my shit, bro.
Bro, it's been so long since we've done this shit. It feels weird to just.
It's gonna be a
new setting too.
Yeah, true.
On top of that,
it's gonna be a shaky start, I think.
Yeah.
Until we get into it more.
You know, it is what it is.
It's all good though. I wanted to. Okay, what is it? I want to trace back to our. How many episodes did we do before this?
We have 8 previous episodes.
We did 8 previous episodes.
Yes.
That's nice.
Do you guys remember what topics we talked about?
A lot of random shit.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it was just like us going randomly.
I know, like, we talked about like current fashion at the time, pipeline issues.
We did?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
talked
we
about
talked
a
about
lot
that.
of current events and some kind of what's the controversial topics. We talked a lot about those.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
I
like
remember
religion and shit.
controversy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. For this podcast, I wanted to kind of take it back a little bit and talk a little about our childhood, which is kind of lit. So I guess what the fuck was your guys' childhood like?
Well, you know what? How about we get Josh to take a shot first,
Oh, true.
and then Josh, you lead it off because
I ain't leading it off.
here I'll take a drink with you.
Yo, where's mine?
Drink of water
That's kind of hard.
with the absolute.
Nice.
wrong way. There you go.
You know, okay, ready?
Cheers.
I didn't think you actually hit. All right.
I didn't think so.
All right.
Either.
You know, how about actually Jet? You start off because
I start off?
It's all about you.
What?
I don't know. I said it randomly. It's not.
What?
It's not about Jet.
Back and strong. Alright, I guess I'll start with mine. Growing up in Canada, or not Vancouver, but I started off in Abbotsford.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually grew up in Abbotsford first. I think from the ages like 0 to 5.
Oh, yeah?
And there I was surrounded by a lot of brown people. And they,
What kind of brown? What are we talking about here?
from my limited memory, from 0 to 5,
It's pretty impressive you can remember anything, honestly.
a lot of kids my age there. And
Really? Really?
No,
That's crazy.
No, here's the thing though. These kids, right? I remember specifically this one kid. I was playing outside and stuff, and then this kid pulls up in an electric motorcycle. This kid's my age, by the way.
Sheesh.
Oh, so like maximum 5 years old.
Yeah, but get this.
Balling
Get
from a young age.
Yo, but get this. It was a 2-wheeler.
How do you do that? That's some.
He's got mad skills.
Oh, you know what it is though? Sometimes when you're going fast on a bike, you don't need to like worry about balancing. You know what I mean?
I know, but it's a 5-year-old.
That's true. Honestly, I'm.
That's just impressive.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
you're right.
impressive.
But yeah, I remember asking him like, "Yo, can I ride that shit?" It's like, "Nah, you're too small." And he's talking to a kid the same age, so it's like.
Well, were you the same size back then? Like both of you?
I want to say similar.
Similar. At
Similar,
least?
yeah. But I mean, to be honest, he's brown, so he probably like was tall.
That's true. Brown people are like really tall.
So yeah, what is it? That's like the only memory I have from that.
Right.
So then I think from
Wait, where were you born?
I was born
In Abbotsford?
in Abbotsford, I think.
Oh, do you know what hospital?
Actually, it's either honestly I don't even know. Honestly, like in Abbotsford or Langley, one of the because I had grandparents living in Langley.
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, from 0 to 5, it was from Abbotsford, and then moved over to I think Langley.
Right.
That's where I went to RC Garnet, you Langley folks out there. And then, yeah, those times were just, every Asian Viet kid goes to a party, meeting all the other cousins and stuff, just, playing laser tag or some shit outside, manhunt.
You guys play laser tag?
Sorry. Yeah, we did. We did.
No.
It was kind of lit.
I wanted to make sure. I was like, how you play laser tag outside? I'm like, yes, you have a gun?
we had so my Asian dad at least, he has this like keyboard thing,
Oh, yeah?
but then at the end of it is a laser.
Oh, I know what you're on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty smart.
So it was pretty lit. We did all of that. We also, I don't know if you guys did this too, but we also made skits. So we had Nerf guns and shit, and then we would shoot videos.
I did that too.
Right?
Yeah,
And then you had like the main character
No.
do storylines. No, you didn't do that, John.
No.
Golly.
Dude, I remember doing that because there's this one time I shot this video of my brother, and I was so basically, you know, I wanted to be the hero or whatever, right? And I was making him like the main villain. I gave him this is my younger brother, mind you. Like he's like what, maybe like 6 years old, 7 years old.
Yeah.
I gave this fool a knife, like a kitchen knife,
Yo.
like a chef knife.
Bro.
And I made him chase me around when I was recording him. I was running backwards too. It was on my 3DS as well.
You're asking to trip, and then you're asking for him to trip on you,
Yeah.
and then you're just gonna fucking die.
I know, right?
How old are you guys here?
I think it was around the same time the 3DS came out. I don't know if you guys know that release date.
I don't know that.
A long time ago. Though.
Maybe like 2013.
Something like that, probably.
So at that 2013 we were like 12. He was like 8.
Yo, you
Yeah.
were 12.
Yeah, I'm a stupid kid.
Yo, you were 12.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Did you? Did you use those video effects apps?
I didn't.
Special effects.
Actually, I know exactly which app you're talking about too.
You know where like you film it and then they add like a car toppling over and shit like that.
That exact app. I don't remember what it's called, but I know.
You never did that, Josh?
No.
No, bro.
What did you
Damn.
do as a kid?
What I do as a kid?
Yeah.
I don't even fucking know. I didn't do much.
Really? You don't remember? Do you remember your ages 0 to 5?
What? How the fuck? I don't know how the fuck he remembers 0 to 5.
It's probably
I barely remember what I like last week.
Really?
I have no clue. I couldn't tell you what I had for dinner 2 days ago.
Well, to be fair, I wouldn't remember that, but I think I remember things in the past.
I guess highlights.
Highlights?
Because dinner is not a
Highlights.
highlight, you know.
Traumatic stuff is highlights.
Traumatic. Oh shit.
Go word. Speak up.
Yo, word.
Okay. 2 stories. The most traumatic thing that second most traumatic thing that happened in elementary school was probably in grade 4, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And you know how they have the glider thing?
Yep.
That like playground stuff that most playgrounds have?
Yeah.
You know, slide across.
Yeah. I was too short to do it. So I had to
Oh,
jump
I
up and
remember
grab
this.
it. I had to jump up and grab it.
Right.
And then I had to get my sister to push me.
Right.
But instead of pushing me, she pulls down my pants.
Yeah.
And then I fall down. And I remember I had tidy whities with like race cars on them or trucks and stuff like
Drip
that.
though.
Damn, so you
It was
remember
drip, but like that was like embarrassing as fuck, right? Because everyone's on the playground. It was
Yeah.
just
This was
recess or lunch or something.
Recess?
How old
One
were
of
you?
those two. I don't know, grade 3 or 4 or so.
This was before I came to.
I don't think that's too bad then. Because can you imagine if you were in like grade?
It was bad enough that I remember it though.
That's true.
If you were grade 7.
But yeah, I'm saying like if you were grade 7, everyone would remember that.
True, especially if I was wearing tidy whities.
Oh,
In grade 7 with race cars.
Hey, real quick, you guys don't wear tidy whities, right?
Nah.
No,
Like when did you guys start wearing like stop wearing them? I guess.
Good question.
probably grade 5 or 6.
5.
That's pretty early. I
That's
think.
really early.
Yeah.
I was late because
Yeah.
like purchasing underwear never really came across my mind.
Exactly. Yeah. Me too.
It wasn't something I did. My parents did for me.
Yeah.
Oh, they changed for you,
Yeah.
dude. I was wearing tidy whities up to like grade 9. Because then you know what it was.
Yo, I'm with you though.
Yeah, because for me, like after in grade 9, I started being more conscious. I was like, yo, man, like this shit don't look right. You know what I mean?
Yo, this shit don't feel right.
Also, you know what it
It's
was?
a little tight.
Another reason why I wanted to stop wearing tighter whities because I wanted to wear just boxers. You know, those just the loose ones, not boxer briefs. Because I would watch like MMA videos and stuff, and they would wear like those shorts. They kind of reminded me of boxers. So I was like, you know what?
I don't like boxers.
I'll put this on and beat the crap out of my
You don't
brother.
like boxers? You wear briefs?
I'm brief man.
Yeah, yeah. me
Brief
too.
man.
Boxer brief.
Yes, boxer
Yeah,
brief.
yeah.
Because you said brief, man. I'm like, wait a minute.
No,
Pull
no,
on your pants.
Bet. I mean, you can kind of see it right now. I'm wearing
You got
Calvin
the, you got
Klein.
the Klein? I got the box.
I got the CK.
We're cutting this out, right?
I got
Nope.
Tom. I got Tommy.
You got Tommy.
Yeah, what you got?
Tommy for your mommy.
Tommy?
Tommy for your mommy.
I got the Joe.
Joe Bucks.
Oh.
The Joe Buck?
I have some of those.
I got the Joe Buck.
Those are closer to boxers, though, right?
I guess
No,
they're
boxer
briefs and
boxer
boxers.
briefs. Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
it is a vibe.
Anyways, back to, I guess, another
your
traumatic story. Yeah. Second one, the most traumatic experience I have had is I had a couple friends over, and as a joke, I don't remember why. There's probably something stupid reason, but as a joke, I went to our house phone, and I typed in 911111111, like probably like 21s, because I was like, "There's no way this is actually gonna call the police."
Right.
And if I didn't do that back then, I probably would have still thought now that I wouldn't have called the police, if I'm going to be honest.
To be honest, until you said it right now, I would have thought I wouldn't call the police.
Right? But anyways, so I hung up. Like, right after, I didn't dial it.
Yeah.
I just hung up.
Yeah.
And then we went to my basement
Yeah.
to play on Xbox or whatever. And then I hear my basement door open. I hear 2 sets of footsteps come down the stairs. One of them's my brother. And then behind him is a police officer.
Oh my gosh.
So they actually showed up to my house.
Yeah.
They did like a small search. And they just asked if anyone called the police. And me being a stupid, like, however old I was in grade school, elementary school, I was like, nope. No one called the police here. You must have the wrong house.
Yeah.
And then that made it worse.
Right.
Because
It would.
they almost fined us, my household. But luckily, the police officer gave it, or it was just like a warning or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess because I was so young.
Yeah.
And that's that. That was probably the most traumatic experience I had in elementary school.
That is
I was a bad kid.
scary.
I was like very
So it was just one police officer
attitude
at the time?
heavy. Yeah, it was just one police officer that
One
showed up,
police
but
officer?
still pretty terrifying to have police come to your house.
Yeah.
Especially if you're that young, it's like
Yeah.
it kind of shapes how you think of them now too. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck.
I didn't know that. You can dial as many ones as you want, but as soon as you hit the 911, no matter how many more ones you add, it still calls.
Apparently,
I mean, I guess so. Just to like,
probably starts dialing as soon as you like
emergency.
type in 911.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
all the rest of the ones after that don't mean shit.
yeah.
You know what I'm curious about? How did they find your house? You didn't say anything.
I think it's location.
Probably location
On
tracking.
on a landphone? Oh, maybe because it is.
It was a house phone.
A landline, so they can find out.
Probably yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have some sort of scary tech shit in there.
Bro.
Just like 20 IT guys working. Yo, that's.
Why did you? I was waiting for you to say something.
Yeah, how about you, John? What was
Any traumatic experience?
Yeah, I don't think mine is as bad as Josh. Although when I was a baby, I did call 911 as well. I was a baby though, so.
We're in the
Was I the
same...
only one who didn't think of calling 911?
Well, no. For me, it wasn't even like I did it purposely.
Yeah.
I was like a toddler. My parents told me about this,
Yeah.
so they just picked up the phone. I was probably dialing some random shit, and I bet you the way it was I was dialing random numbers, but I somehow hit the in order 911, and I bet you it went through like that.
Stop recording. Hopefully it wasn't too long.
Do I pause this or do I keep going?
No.
You just
Alright.
Nice. Yeah, hopefully that wasn't too long.
So yeah, you're saying you're calling 911?
Well, but
As a baby?
as a toddler, you know. So that was the case. It wasn't traumatic for me. Honestly, I thought it was kind of cool. I'm like, cool, police officers. I don't know if my parents got fined. I assume not because I was
Probably
literally
not.
a toddler,
They probably understand the situation.
right? But maybe probably the most traumatic experience. It's not even that traumatic, but basically I was at Stanley Park, and I was I think maybe you know what, maybe it wasn't traumatic because it was ever since this moment that I stopped opening up to people, strangers. And I'm not being that dramatic because as a kid this changed my world.
Yeah.
So I was playing with other kids as you would at Stanley Park, on the playground.
Yeah.
And then I'm playing with this kid. The kid's like, "Hey, do you know what a sack is?" I'm like, "No, what the fuck's a sack?" Right? He's like, "Come here." like he's shady, by the way. Maybe it's just because in my head.
This is what you remember it
Yo,
as?
come here. You know what a sack is?
Well, I think he was like maybe a few years older than me.
Yeah.
But he was just plucking my ass. He's like, "Come here, I'll show you what a sack is."
Yeah.
And he literally just open hand just my balls. I think I might have just messed the audio there.
Add a little bit of a squish.
Yeah, but he just grabs my sack and squeezes it. I'm like, holy!
You're like, fuck. Do it again, please.
Thought number one.
Yo,
Run it back.
I don't know how you're not traumatized by that, bro.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then ever since the moment, like I think I was like pretty young then, maybe like in like early grade school.
Yeah.
But then after that, later on to grade school, I kept on thinking back to the moment. I'm like, you can't trust motherfuckers out here, man.
So was he the first guy to ever touch your dick?
Maybe my dad. Hopefully, my dad was.
That's a little sus.
But he's the only guy. He sacked me. Maybe my cousin.
Is that even a sack? Just.
Well, he cupped my sack.
Cupped your sack, gave it a
Like-
little squish.
I always associated with sacking with kicking.
Kicking. Oh yeah.
That's what I.
Well, he said he sacked me, so that's how I remember sacking. But either way, that was also the first experience I've been like hitting the balls.
I feel like sacking is just any trauma
Well, the thing
to
is,
the balls.
yeah, the thing is, it wasn't like he just went slowly and grabbed it. He was like and then he also gripped it.
He had the nice little wind up.
Yeah, yeah. Ever since that moment, can't trust motherfuckers, bro.
Did you ever have that like period where it's like you flinch every time something comes near your fucking sack?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, it wasn't because of that, but it was just because well, maybe it was because of that. Because then you just know the pain. Because I remember in high school, people in high school they just go like this 3 balls. And I'm like, oh shit.
Okay,
Fuck.
No, they'll just like psych you out sometimes.
Yeah.
That never happened to you?
No, bro.
No, I got that a lot.
Yeah,
I got that a lot.
Yeah.
Damn, maybe.
Your ball's too small, bro.
Probably. They couldn't see it, so they're like, oh fuck, where do I go?
There's no bulge to aim for.
No, yeah, people usually just come up to you and they just fake sack you, or they do no balls. No balls is fucking annoying.
Yeah.
No balls was annoying.
That's a white thing.
Yeah, I would literally just be like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it, and then they literally try to sack me. I'm like, okay, guy, like you're suspicious.
True.
Trying to touch someone else's dick.
So we got police walking on a kid. We got getting sacked by
I got
some
groped.
Sexual
groped.
harassment.
I mean, find that kid.
I don't think I ever got anything as traumatizing as that or difficult as that.
No.
But
What was the worst you've ever had then?
worst I ever had.
No matter how trivial, because I guess childhood stuff. You didn't
Honestly, getting lost was a really bad one.
getting lost is
Like I think I was actually with Billy at this age too. This was in Abbotsford.
Getting lost at the grocery store.
So we just kids we hang out outside the front house.
Yeah.
I had this little like you know those bikes those like kids use now to like drift down the hill and shit.
Yes.
Like those plastic bikes. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
never mind.
Yeah, so I had one of those, right? Before the whatever. And then I accidentally rolled down the fucking hill. So it's a front yard. There's a hill down this way, and then the street this way.
Yeah.
So I rolled down the hill somehow. I rolled all the way down, and I fucking got stuck there, I swear, for like 20 minutes. Crying my eyes out.
I guess 20 minutes is long for a kid.
Yeah.
No, 20
To
minutes
be
is
lost.
long,
Yeah.
for sure. Especially if you don't know anything outside of your house. You know what I'm talking about?
Sounds sheltered.
But yeah, yo, that is
I was
very
pretty
sheltered.
sheltered.
That is very sheltered. But I think it was only until I hit high school or grade 7 is when I kind of like broke out of that shelter because I was able to go out by myself, right, and chill with like you guys and stuff.
Actually, that's a good question for me. I want to ask you guys, what age did your parents allow you to like kind of do what you want, like go out and like hang out with people?
I think mine first started blossoming at grade 7 just because I had a younger sister at the time and we went to the same school, so they relied on me to take care of her and stuff like that during school, like going home and stuff like that. And then grade 8 and 9 they got looser, and then by the time I hit grade 10, 11 it was like, okay, you're on your own now, kid.
Oh, that was-
Mine is, I think, starting in like grade 3, I would walk home by myself.
Grade 3? How close was your house?
Is like, here's the school, here's the street that goes along the school,
Yeah.
a tiny bit up the road,
Yeah.
and then there's a cul-de-sac to the left. And that's where my house
Grade
was.
3 is young.
So it's very close, but
Yeah.
I think grade 4 or 5 we moved in the same area, but like instead of it being like a 5-minute walk, it was like a 20. So still close.
20 minutes is kind of far for like a young kid though.
It's not okay. It's like top of what's it called?
A hill, mound.
Like looking at it from bird's eye view.
Mhm.
If you take away the hills and it's just flat,
Oh.
it's very close. But it's just the hills that make it long.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. I think I think I could do mostly what I wanted in grade, like starting in high school.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But then curfews stopped existing probably grade 11.
yeah,
11.
makes sense.
I think
Yeah.
my curfews kept on from grade 11 and stuff until I fucking moved out. So, yeah.
Fair
Fairly
enough.
recently.
Yeah. Thing is though, with like I had curfews, but they like extended, you know. So grade 8 you got the 8 p.m. curfew. Grade 9 you got the 9 p.m. curfew, you know, and so on and so on. But yeah. How about you?
I feel like for me, I wasn't allowed to do a lot for most of my
Yeah, I know.
for most. What do you mean you know?
High school?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's because what was it? Well,
Alright guys, I gotta be home by 7, please.
yeah. Well, if I wasn't home by 7,
it
I
is what
wasn't
it
be
is.
out for next week.
True.
But it was like, so basically it was like when I was young, right? It's just been like this for so long But when I was young, up to even when I was in beginning grade 2, because grade 2 is when I moved to my current house.
Yeah.
If you guys remember that area.
Yeah.
But there's an elementary school right down the street, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Literally like probably 4-minute walk. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's really close.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't allowed to walk home that distance by myself, right?
Damn.
Which grade 3, I can maybe grade 2, grade 3, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the point where like grade 6, grade 7, I feel like it's okay, right?
Yeah.
But even then, my parents would still walk me home, walk me,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Which I didn't mind, it's kind of cool hanging out with my mom and dad.
So was
I can understand grade 3 and 4 because it's a busier street.
Yeah.
Like the street that my elementary school was across was like very in the neighborhood community.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the only reason anyone would drive there is like
Just for school.
it's cool. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I guess mine was a bit, it was more like a regular street.
Yeah.
So was that like the only school you went to?
No, I went to, or I guess I should, so I went to a preschool in Langley.
Yeah.
And then I went to a kindergarten I went to kindergarten in grade 1, also in Langley Meadows.
So this was you in your current house now? Is that where you lived at the time when you went to those schools? Or?
No. I moved house. So my preschool, I was at a house.
Mm-hmm.
And then my kindergarten grade 1, I moved to a different house.
Yeah.
And then grade 2 and onwards to now is the same house.
So the house you're in now is like the most prevalent one in your childhood.
Yeah, it's the one I've been in for most of my life now.
Yeah.
But it was basically, I got lost. What was I saying?
How you were walking home from school.
Okay, yeah. So, but basically, it was I was pretty sheltered. Like I wasn't allowed to do a lot.
Yeah.
Hanging out with friends, even hanging out with friends after school, I wasn't allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because my parents were always waiting for me. As soon as the bell rang,
God.
they were waiting. They're outside. We just go home.
Damn.
Golly.
Yeah, I got really into the habit of that. So even in high school, people after school in high school, right, grade 8, grade 9, whatever, it's all high school. You just talk with your friends.
Yeah.
You then you leave.
Yeah.
I would literally just leave right away. Like I literally the bell rang, I'd go straight to my parents' car and leave.
Did that ever make you feel like lonely in a way or any kind of thing? Like did that affect you anything?
Not really, to be honest.
Not really. I mean that's good,
I keep myself entertained a lot.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I know you guys didn't like this back then, but in the summers when I just
Ghosted?
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck
hey,
you.
Guess what? I was having so much fun by myself. I'm not even. The thing is, it's not by myself because I have 2 other siblings.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
chills, right?
I guess yeah.
I have 2 other siblings too.
Yo, this guy got 2 other siblings and he makes time for us, bro.
Yeah.
Why can't
Well,
you do the same?
It was because, like I said, being sheltered, I was raised in that mindset, right? Just pretty much just stay within the family.
Yeah.
So I didn't give much thought to friends until I pretty much met you guys. We started hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I really thought about. I started thinking about like, I want to hang out with friends during the summer and all that. Even though that one summer I didn't.
That one summer, yeah.
But
I mean, it was, I guess, a blessing in disguise because you know how to entertain and keep yourself, be alone.
yeah, I can be alone by myself for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm really okay with it, to be honest. That's
Seeing like,
yeah,
so when we were hanging out before that summer, and then when the summer went by, and we saw each other for the first time again after summer,
yeah,
it was like being that like older and going to a family gathering and having that one random person you don't even fucking know be like, I haven't seen you in ages. You look so different now. You're so
Really?
tall.
did you feel like that for you guys?
Kind of.
Yeah,
for me, it was just like, oh, cool, we're back to school. Like, what's up, guys?
Back to
Nothing happened.
Dude, literally for me, it's like I just delete the whole summer. Right? I'm like, oh, we're back. Nothing.
Delete the whole
Well, nothing did happen.
Who are you again? We were friends? Really? Wow, okay.
Wow, that's how it is. But yeah, so I was super sheltered, and even my first sleepover I had in grade 10. I had to really beg my parents for that.
Okay, sleepovers and Asian parents though, they don't go well like
Right.
hand to hand.
My
Like, that
first sleepover was like grade 5 or something.
That's huge. That's
Maybe even younger.
because when I was elementary, people sleep over all the time. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
let me come over. Let me.
And I think so too. Like I don't know if your parents do the same, but if you ask for a sleepover, they have to know every little detail.
Yeah.
About who the person is and the family and stuff.
Yeah.
like
Well, to
that.
be fair,
Who their friends are, who else is going,
Yes,
what's the
yes.
address,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
Well, looking back on it now, though, I think it's pretty reasonable.
It makes sense, yeah, but
Yeah.
But then for me, it's like, so my first sleepover was with Parker,
Nice.
and at this point, I've known Parker for like 3 years.
Nice.
My mom knows who Parker is. My mom knows his mom, and even then, she was like, "Yo, you gotta tell me everything. Like, you know everything.
Yeah.
You know everything. You don't
Yeah.
need to like." I begged like so long on the phone, whatever, and she finally gave in. And then since I had to beg so much for it, even when we were having the sleepover, I wasn't having that much fun. I was like, damn, I fucking worked so hard for this shit. I was upset. I was like, damn. It's not that fun. Shit.
But yeah, like
Just clench the fist.
I think that's just like a trust thing, yo. Like especially with my parents, like to 19 years old, it took like 18 years for my parents to like fully trust you guys, right? Like if I say I'm going out, I'm going out with Josh and John. Okay, go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Before it would be like, okay, what are you guys doing and stuff still. But now it's like, okay, now I know it's just them. Like it's the same guys.
Yep.
It's whatever, right?
Yep.
So I think it's just like it takes a really long time to build trust.
Did you tell your parents when you would leave, when you were still living before you moved here?
Oh, what do you mean?
Like every time you go out, would you tell them you're going out?
Yeah, I still do because I think it's respectful.
You still do it today, nowadays?
Oh, like since moving out?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But when I lived in the household.
Oh really? I don't. Sometimes I just go out and tell them after.
Oh really?
Before, I think it's because they realize also like for me, like I said, like they raised me very family oriented.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, most of my days spent honestly just helping out my family.
Mm.
So then when I do go out sometimes, and they're like, if I know, so I only go out when I know my day is completely free. Like I know they don't need help or anything.
Yeah.
Because if they do need help, it's honestly a pain to go back and forth. But they'll be like, are you home right now? I'm like, oh no, I'm out with my friends. And then like, okay.
Honestly.
I think it's more like a transaction with my parents right now. Because I work for like the whole week for this day off basically.
Yo, you have to charge up the
Seems
days,
a little
right?
unbalanced there. Working a whole week for a single day off.
Yo, that's what it is though. I was like that too.
I thought that was pretty balanced to be honest.
You guys got skewed ideas of
different
balance.
mindsets. Yeah, right.
That's growing up in a more strict Asian household for you.
Yeah.
But like,
Or I guess that like I guess that actually sways in pretty good to my first prompt I wanted to ask you guys. Pretty much like if you went back to your childhood home, how would you feel? So for example, I said I lived in Abbotsford, right, when I was young.
yeah.
So if I were to go back to Abbotsford now and see like this was my bedroom, you know, that many years ago and stuff, how do you guys think you would feel?
Well, I live in the same area still, right? So
Yeah.
I drive by it, not necessarily in the cul-de-sac,
Yeah.
but I've driven by it quite a few times.
Yeah.
I've gone to visit it a couple times, recent-ish, like in the last year, but I don't know. It's cool to see. Not much has changed.
No, it's just
Like maybe the color, the paint on the outside. I've been told that the inside has changed a lot, so I think it'd be cool to see what's different. And then
so
kinda-
you've never been like inside or anything to see it?
not since I moved out.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool though
It
to
would be, yeah.
see inside, and then maybe it would unlock other memories that I've forgotten about.
You guys ever do the height thing on door frames?
I didn't do that. Billy's actually doing that right now.
I think my family did it
Your family
for a
did
few years. Yeah.
Because I know like I used to see like when people go back to their childhood homes, sometimes they would see like the markings still. They're like, oh, they like remember this and
That's
that.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I never did that. I think my parents were like, yeah, fuck, this kid's short. We don't need to measure.
Yeah, after 50, they're like, yo, you're just this tight.
Yo, you're not growing anymore? That's all good.
I mean, for me with childhood home,
Yeah.
like I said, I've lived in my current house since grade 2.
Yeah.
And also the house I lived in before, I visit all the time inside because that's where my cousin lives.
Oh,
yeah? Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So the house I was talking about from kindergarten to grade 1, that's the house that they're living in right now. So literally I visit it all the time because I hang out with them, whatever. But then the house in preschool, I literally don't remember anything because I was too young.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I don't get those feelings to be honest. Or maybe I did a long time ago.
I guess it's because you kind of like live in it still.
Yeah.
With your cousins and
It doesn't
stuff.
feel different to me.
Yeah.
Maybe like 20 years in the future when I come back to the house I'm living in right now,
Yeah.
I'll probably get hit with some like, I'll probably cry.
A
Probably.
little bit of nostalgia.
Yeah, I'll cry for sure.
Damn. So like, I guess like, kind of expand a little bit. Like, what was your, how were you raised? Like, what was your upbringing in like an Asian family household and like kind of the things you were taught when you were young? You know what I'm saying?
I guess we have very opposite.
We're both technically both Asian upbringings.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Technically Asian upbringing, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm like what, 4th generation Canadian,
Yeah.
and you guys you're second,
First or second?
First or second?
I still call myself first. Just
I
'cause.
think it's second.
technically second.
Second, yeah. First.
So I'm a lot more whitewashed than your family is. For example, your parents still speak Vietnamese, right?
we still wear shoes now. We don't wear shoes in the house.
Okay.
Dude,
Okay, I
we
think-
don't wear shoes in the house.
Hold
Period.
up.
Yeah. Uh huh.
For me, I think it was they tried for like until I was in grade 9 to get me to not wear shoes in the house. And I just kept doing it,
You
and they gave up.
motherfucker!
Oh, so you did it. You did it. Not your family.
Yeah. So
Wait, so
well, it's just like they also just don't care anymore.
yeah, but like back then they did care.
Well, they'd tell me to take it off. I would take it off, but
Did you put it back on?
no, I wouldn't put it back on. I just, I don't know. It kind of just got more lenient over time. It might have been my fault for just constantly wearing my shoes inside the house.
Wait, so is it basically the case where your family originally didn't wear shoes in the house, but then because of you, everyone started wearing shoes?
No, it's pretty much just me that wears shoes in the house.
Still.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm taking my shoes off next time I go to your house. I thought everyone in your family did.
Well, no, my mom, like when she comes home from work,
Yeah.
she likes wearing heels for some reason. She doesn't mind it.
Some people, yeah.
But like generally, the idea with heels, right, is that it's
Yeah.
fucking painful.
Yeah.
And yeah, she just walks in with her heels on. She like walks all the way to the couch and then takes them off.
I do notice that actually.
So it's not just me. Other people do it. It's just I'm pretty sure I'm definitely the one who does it the most.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of the time I find shoes comfortable.
Okay.
More comfortable
But
than bare feet.
but the thing is, or even if you don't like bare feet, it's just a fact.
I don't like bare feet actually.
For me,
I don't like
it's
walking bare feet.
when you walk outside, all this dirt and stuff is attached to your shoe.
Yep.
So then when you're walking into your house, maybe like the main floor or whatever, right? You can clean that. But you walk into your room and shit with your shoes on.
Are you talking about my mom's or my dad's?
Your mom's, I think.
My mom's? Well, it's all wood floor, so it's easy to clean up.
Yeah, but even then, I feel like it's just you have you don't know what you stepped in, you know.
No, yeah, you're right. I don't know what I stepped in.
So
Wait,
so why would you wear slippers? Because it's like it's a similar feeling.
Wait, so Josh, okay, when
I
you
don't have slippers.
so you don't do you sleep with, you
And
don't
I'd still
sleep
be
with,
changing shoes. That's too much work.
you don't sleep with shoes on, right?
No.
All right. So when you wake up, right, do you put shoes on?
No,
No.
no way. Yeah.
So you walk on.
It's only if I have gone outside and I'm coming back home. And I don't keep them on for long. I just wear them to where I'm going, and then I'll take them off.
Okay. Still gross as fuck.
Still gross.
Yeah, you know what? I am hoping that you know what? It definitely in the future in my household, I'm definitely gonna get all my kids do not wear shoes.
I think.
Same.
Yeah, I think it's just cleanliness.
What?
That doesn't make sense.
Why?
Because you wear shoes in your house,
So?
but you don't want your kids to wear shoes.
Yo, doesn't
Right.
mean he can't change, right?
Would you even change?
What's
it?
the problem?
Okay, are you even gonna change it though, or you just don't want your kids
Am
to wear
I
shoes?
going to personally change? Am I going to take my shoes off in the future?
Yeah.
When I own a house?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
you're my boy.
there you go. There you
Yo,
go.
you gotta dab him up for that, please.
You're right.
So
That
besides
makes sense, though.
besides like wearing shoes in the house, Josh, or being accustomed to that, what else were you taught as a kid, pretty much? Like values wise, I guess.
Well, my parents have been divorced, right, for a very long time.
Yeah.
Probably since I was in grade 2 or 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
So, obviously I was too young for that to mean shit. It didn't make me, like,
Yeah.
cry. I was just confused as fuck as to what was going on, why I have to go to 2 different houses now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess, like, the plus sides were, like, 2 Christmases, 2 Easters, 2 Thanksgivings. So, I just looked at the plus sides for that. But, what was the question?
It was just like, what else were you taught as a kid?
What was I taught?
How were you brought up, I guess?
How was I
Yeah,
brought up?
like what values did your parents like give you and like stuff like that?
I think I'm very much like my dad.
Yeah.
We have pretty addictive personalities, so we'll get into something and then we'll be like really stuck on that one thing for a long time.
Yeah.
But it can switch very fast, where we get interested in something else and then can possibly lose interest in that other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, he was like with nicotine.
Oh yeah.
He was very against it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he's like, he knows that we both have addictive personalities, so it was him looking out for me in that sense.
Oh, golly.
But my dad, when I was younger, probably taught me, definitely, it's like kind of the cliche thing that dads would teach, but like how to survive, I guess.
Yeah.
What's the example of how to survive?
Both literally and metaphorically, I guess. Like literally within like, we went camping a lot.
Oh,
that was a
okay.
big family activity, which was always really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Especially learning all about camping and stuff like that in the wilderness. And then the other way is like kind of how to hold myself together, stick up for myself,
Yeah.
how to treat people generally,
Yeah.
and not be like pushed around. But you also have to like, if you have to, you might just like just deal with it and suck up to someone. If it's like gonna better your future.
Right.
So you were taught how to assert dominance. That's what
Kind
you're
of.
saying.
Also, a lot of like how networking is important.
Yes.
Making connections.
Yeah.
You
Stuff
taught
like
you
that.
this?
That's nuts.
Not when I was like a toddler, but when I was in like
But
elementary school, starting to like
Yeah.
be at the age where you would find a job and stuff like that.
You said elementary school?
That's nuts. That's
Well,
nuts.
I had my first job was like
McDonald's.
probably McDonald's, and that was like grade 8.
Yeah.
Did you make any connections there?
No, they hated me.
Yeah, I fucking hate McDonald's too.
No, I mean like everyone there hated me.
Oh, were you
I
a
quit
dick-
after a month. That's
Were
why.
you a dickhead?
No, I was very nice. I was friends with my coworkers, but the management hated me.
Oh,
Because-
okay. You said everyone hate. I thought you meant
what I
everyone
thought
hated
too.
you.
No. I had 2 coworkers that were my friends. That was it. Everyone else either basically didn't know who I was, or if they were manager or something, they didn't like me.
That's true.
But that's only because I quit after a month. Right? No, it was like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Because I got an offer at Save On Foods,
Yeah.
which I worked there for like a year and something till I got fired, which is a story for a different time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So they disliked you because you basically handed in your 2 weeks?
yeah, I think it was probably because, well, I went through like a process of asking them how I would be able to work both jobs.
Sure, yeah.
So I offered to work both jobs
Yeah.
at McDonald's and Save On Foods.
Which is, I feel like it's reasonable.
It was reasonable,
'Cause you're
but they
pro
said no. They didn't want to like cut my hours, so it was either I work there or I couldn't work at Save On.
Damn.
But Save On has better benefits as well as higher pay.
Right, yeah.
So obviously I'm going to go work there.
Yeah.
Oh, they had higher pay at the time?
Yeah.
Damn.
It wasn't much. It was like probably only 20 or 30 cents
That
an hour.
makes a difference, though.
It does make a
that's
difference, especially over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, McDonald's is obviously minimum wage. Save On was slightly higher until minimum wage rised,
Right.
and then they just had to match it. They wouldn't go
Oh, yeah,
above.
Yeah.
But
So was working at Save-On's like management and everything a lot better than your experience with McDonald's?
oh fuck no,
No.
Really?
it
Same
was
thing?
equally as worse. Well,
Golly.
I don't have much experience with the management at McDonald's. All I've heard of is because my friend worked there.
Yeah.
And when I quit, he said that all the management talked shit about me for like weeks.
Damn.
Like, oh, there's this one kid who like
It's so,
I can understand to an extent because they had to train me, and I was paid for training, and then I quit
Yeah.
like a month after.
well,
Yeah.
they gave you an ultimatum.
Yeah,
They didn't.
yeah. It was either I work there or I work at Save On,
Yeah, they
and
told
obviously
you that.
Save On was just the better choice.
Yeah.
Like, if it was any one of those other employees, they'd make the same choice. So, well, who the fuck wants to work at McDonald's?
True. I think I got in more trouble at Save On Foods though.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I think I know.
No, without the fired
Oh,
part.
yeah, yeah.
Even before the fired
Yeah.
part,
Yeah.
I don't think they liked me.
Yeah. What did
I
you
had
do
it
at Save-On's?
bro.
What did I do?
Yeah, what'd you do at Save-On's?
You want me to go into it?
Well, just a quick overview.
Yeah.
Okay, overview. I'll go into detail in another podcast.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
But basically, oh god.
I thought you were just a cashier.
Well, okay. I worked cashier.
Yeah.
I worked
Stop.
what's it called? Dairy. What's up, dog? I worked the meat and fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked on the floor, so shelving items and I forget what it's called, but it's where you pull items to the front
I know
to
what
make
it
it
is.
look full, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Wait,
It's
they
called
do
like
that?
it's facing, I think, or something like that. I had a fucking 8-hour shift of just facing stuff.
You know what? That sounds kind of chill.
It's chill in an OCD aspect, how it looks nice after,
Yeah.
but is the most boring shit
Yeah.
you've ever done in
that's
your
right.
life.
For 8 hours, I can imagine.
I was called in for that. It wasn't even supposed to be like a shift that I had. I was
Yeah.
called in and asked to work that. It was
Wait,
like,
look, real quick.
I was new, so I couldn't say no.
Isn't that the worst fucking feeling when you're obligated to take a shift because when you got
True.
It's so bad because when you're new, you don't have an option. They call you in.
Yeah.
Yes, you could say no, but then it's just gonna fuck up your time at the
Yeah.
job. So you don't really. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but so towards me getting fired, I think I've been working there for. Can you hit the record button again, by the way, please? I think I was working there for probably close to 8 months at that time, maybe just over a year or something.
Yeah.
And this specific shift, this specific amount of time that I was doing said thing that got me fired, I was working cashier.
Right.
And we have these things called more rewards points,
Yeah.
which basically gives you points towards getting savings on items or potentially free items.
Yeah.
Using the points. You can even go on vacations with them if you had enough. And essentially, if the customer didn't have a more rewards points, I would offer to use our store card, and then instead I would pull out my own card and use it as if it was a store card. So I would get the points. And
You know
yeah,
what?
essentially I got caught.
How'd you get caught though? I don't remember.
It was an older lady,
Yeah.
and then she either noticed that I was obviously not using the store card.
Yeah.
It might be because I literally have it there.
Yeah.
Normally the store card is at the front that you have to walk over and scan,
Yeah.
but I just pulled it out and scanned it, so maybe she saw it that way.
True. Yeah.
And then she came, told my manager, and then I was a whole fuss about me stealing, which in a sense is true. I am stealing in a sense.
Yeah.
I think I had around $100 worth of points,
God,
which is a lot if you think about it. That is a lot of groceries.
God. Damn.
Yeah, $100 worth of points, and basically I was called in for a 4-hour shift one day.
Yeah.
I go into the store. I'm 10 minutes into my shift as a cashier. I am called up to the office.
Yeah.
I am told that I'm being fired or laid off.
Okay.
He asked me, so this was the part where I was smart with it. He asked me, do you know why you're being fired? I said, yes. Can you tell me why? I said, because I was using my card to gain more rewards points instead of the stores.
Okay.
And that saved me from being basically... He basically said that if I didn't say that, if I didn't admit to it and be honest, he would have told the police and it would have been on my record.
Really?
For theft, yeah.
Dude, honestly, I would have said no.
Yo, I would have said no too.
So
Yeah,
I was smart about that.
Yeah, you had
Yo, that's that. That's that. What?
Because obviously, if I'm caught,
Yeah.
there's no point in lying.
But yeah.
Lying's just gonna make it worse for you. But then, you guys know about, I'm not gonna name drop, but the one girl
Yes.
from Tweety who worked there, who stole over $1,300 from the register. She spent it all.
I didn't know about that.
She was caught.
Mm-hmm.
She was fired,
Yeah.
and she had to use one of her friends to give her $1,300 so she could pay back the store.
Oh, so
So dumb though.
yo,
And she
you-
took cash.
Yep, cash right out of the register. They have cameras overhead on each register or over each.
Did she take it
cashier?
one go?
Sorry,
One go? She took 1,300 one go? Or over time?
probably not.
probably over time.
Yeah.
But obviously, when the day ends as a cashier, you have to take all the money out
Yeah.
and you put it in an envelope and you
Yeah.
put it below in the kind of box thing.
You count it too, right?
I think that's someone else's problem to
Okay.
count it, but yeah. So she
Well,
got
you
caught for
know-
that, fired.
you
I don't
know-
know. I don't know if anything happened beyond that other than her paying it off.
I
But
think she might. She must have been
That's
contacted by
theft.
police.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
That's straight theft.
Yeah.
Cav water.
You know what it is though?
I think this closed my throat.
You know what it is though, right? You know how we both said no there?
Yeah.
Why Josh said yes?
Thank you.
Josh had that networking lesson from his dad. Yo.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, like his dad told him like, you know, you gotta play the cards right.
Yo,
Yeah.
Situation.
Yo, he taught when he was young.
Well, like, that's like even then though, like even when I was taught that, like you just had the intuition to like just admit to it.
So he was raised there.
Personally, think I'm a lot more street smart than I will ever be book smart in my life.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a good thing to be honest.
Yeah. It's gonna be both, but like if I had to choose between street smarts and book smart, I'd rather choose to work the streets.
Yeah. I guess that's a really good example of like what your dad taught you. You know, it's saved you from fucking being on record with
Yeah.
that. It's kind of lit. How about
Close call though.
Yeah, bro.
Well, I
Maybe
haven't,
you know in the first place I shouldn't have done that, but
You know, you still played your
the
cards.
damage was done. I just had to mitigate the
Yeah.
damage. So
I mean, that's great. Like, yeah, I was trying to think of like, is theft? I guess it is theft because at the same time I was like, oh, it's
It doesn't belong
it's
to me.
It's not doesn't belong to you, which is why it's theft. But then who does it belong to? If it's not, I guess it's the store's points.
Yeah.
So you steal from the store still. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense now. Yeah, say it out loud.
But last thing I'm gonna say on it, the bright side is I was there for probably a total of 45 minutes
And you
during the day. I got fired. I got paid for 4 hours, baby.
This is my man.
That's lit.
They should have just called you for 1 hour or something. Stonks, you know.
True.
Oh yeah.
Well,
No, that was a fuck up though. But whatever. I live and I learn.
I mean,
It's just a life lesson.
dude, no everlasting damage.
Yeah.
So yeah,
True.
it's good.
Yeah. it's-
Lucky. Well, for me, I didn't have anything as dramatic as that in my upbringing.
Yeah.
Maybe just getting sacked.
Yo, that's
But
troublesome.
you know, yeah, I guess like Josh said earlier, Josh is from a 4th generation household.
Yeah.
I'm 2nd generation, first born in Canada. My parents immigrated here.
Yeah.
So you know, obviously they carry all their old traditions from their home country, Vietnam.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
like what?
Frugal.
Being a cheapskate.
I don't. Listen, that one I feel like it's because you know I guess it is coming from a Vietnam thing because you know Vietnam at the time was poor, coming from a country from a war.
Yeah.
So my parents escaped here. You know they raised me, spending less. You know less is more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that even to this day I prefer not to spend money when I don't have to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as I was growing up, we started getting more money. My mom, of course, she's a Vietnamese mom, starts buying all this BB and like fucking high end shit.
Yeah.
So when I do spend money, I tend to like want to just fucking spend it at the same time.
Yeah, I see.
But it's pretty much like the typical. I feel like for the most part, it's pretty typical Asian upbringing.
Yeah.
You know, you just learn to respect your elders. Very family oriented in my case.
Yeah.
I feel like most people are.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not much too special to be honest. I feel like I just don't wear shoes in the house.
Yo, he's gotta change that, bro. You don't gotta rub it. Yo, 5 minutes from now, bro.
I don't know how to put it down.
Or I don't know about you, like growing up in.
I missed.
Yeah.
I missed. Yeah, fuck you.
What did you miss?
I was trying to shoot this little bit of middle finger down.
What was I even gonna say? Oh, I was
How's
gonna.
your upbringing?
How's my upbringing? I guess it was very similar to Jonathan's, but I was gonna say, like in that upbringing, your parents were like still had a level of strictness to them, right? Like not as loose as Josh's.
I mean, yeah, like I mean, I was basically kind of alluding to it earlier.
Yeah.
Like how they didn't let me sleep over until we were 10.
Did that for me? My parents were like that too. Did it teach you like low key? Like, are you low key good at keeping secrets
Yeah.
or lying?
Lying, I can't lie very well to be honest.
I think I'm good at lying.
I can.
Are you lying right now?
Nope.
You don't know. You don't know. I mean, for me, it's like I can lie if I'm in the right mood to lie. You know what I mean? Because
Right mood. What makes a right mood to lie?
sometimes like I'm in a mood where I'm like very happy or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like I'm just in a good mood. I don't want to lie when I'm in a good mood because it kind of brings down my mood, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm in a bad mood, I'll just lie and like I won't feel bad. No remorse. You know what I mean?
God.
When you talking about being strict though, I think my parents being strict to me was honestly a good thing.
A good thing.
Because I know with a lot of people being raised strict, it only makes them want to be more like
Rebellious.
Rebellious
Yes.
as they grow up. I think my parents low-key got lucky.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like
Mine didn't.
being in a strict household, it's like it teaches the kid how to like hide from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can go either way, definitely. And for the most part, I feel like it goes the way where they don't want to talk to their parents.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's the most part. Because I know, I'm hearing a lot of stories online, especially with these Asian kids. They're talking about, oh, my parents were like raised me this way, and now I'm like, because of them, I'm like all these negatives. I'm like, yo, you just a bitch. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong.
Like, because the thing is, I was raised the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know how it feels to be raised strict. But look, like, I'm not out here trying to be a fucking, I'm a punk, I guess. I'm not a punk.
Like blaming your parents for your faults.
Yeah.
And obviously, honestly, I can't lie. When I was younger, I wasn't able to go out all this stuff. I wasn't able because that was very, very, very strict on me.
Yeah.
I was very socially awkward at first, right?
Yeah.
So it was hard for me. So I honestly did blame my parents a little bit. I'm like, oh, it's because of them
Yeah.
that I'm socially awkward.
Yeah.
But then as I grew up, started to understand my parents. I'm like, okay, I can't blame them for wanting to keep their firstborn child safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me being socially awkward is my problem. Stop being a bitch and go talk to people. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like, if you think about it, you're their first child, right?
Yeah.
They have no experience. So being a parent,
True.
They're also
so they just gotta do with what they think is best or what they feel is best.
This is also this is also a new country to them, so they don't
Yeah.
have like they don't have their older elders teaching them how to.
They
It's
still
a
got
lot of
that
new stuff.
They still got that survival mindset, like they
Yeah.
gotta make sure the kid doesn't sway in any kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they gotta confine to what they already know.
I'm very happy with the way my parents brought me up, no
That's
matter how
good.
strict it is. Because like it was very strict back then, but I do have two other siblings, 4 years, 6 years younger than me, and I noticed that at their current age, even when they're younger, my parents are not strict on them.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that because it's like for me it's like they learn from me.
Yeah,
Now
and now they know that they can be more relaxed.
Yeah.
And relying on you too, right? As the first
Because
first
easier ways of teaching them the same things that they taught you, but just a different method.
Because I feel like if I ended up being one of those kids that rebelled after I was being held down strictly, then my parents would be strict on my siblings too. But then my parents saw that, the way they raised me was hopefully I turned out somewhat
This
to
is
what they
the
want.
this is the product of our work.
Yeah.
Let's make sure he goes and does the same.
Yeah. So they basically just take like they went overboard, so they're like we can pull back some of these measures on the next kid, and then this older kid he can teach the younger kids like the ropes, whatever, all that.
Looking back, would there be anything you would want to change in your upbringing? Because I know you said you were pretty relatively happy, but I'm sure there's something you would want to change, right?
Maybe.
Like for me, I mean, like at least like it would definitely have to be the like the whole trust and curfew kind of thing, like with sleepovers and like, because they were very close-minded when it came to my friends.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like they only knew they were my friends, so they wouldn't trust them with like if I went to go sleep over with them or hang out with them or something like that. And that really got annoying over time, especially as I got older and like hit that like 15-year-old stage where you want to go out your own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like looking back, that's like something I would kind of want to change, like just let me be a little free. But yeah, I don't know.
Shit. Honestly,
It's a pretty hard question, but
there's nothing I want to change that would be drastic.
yeah.
Only thing would be like, damn, bro, you should have taught me how to be healthier. Shit. Well, now, yeah, but that's literally like when I look back at my childhood.
Yeah.
Because back then, maybe when you guys met me or in grade 8, grade 9, all that, I was fairly shy in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? I was awkward and shy in my self opinion.
Yeah.
But when I was being brought up before high school, I was actually like the star of the family. You know what I mean? Because I was at the time. I was like the youngest I was like, so my older cousins, they were like much older than me, right? So I was the newest kid in like a while. So all the grandparents, all the aunties, uncles,
They're
come
gonna
by
dote
my
on
house.
you.
Yeah, they doted on me, right?
Yeah.
So I felt very like I didn't. Yeah, I felt very loved.
Yeah.
And I can't even ask for anything more because even though they're strict,
Yeah.
maybe it's because I've reflected on this so many times, like how I was brought up.
Yeah.
But I just appreciate everything they've done for me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't think of
yeah.
a single thing I want to change, to be honest.
Fair enough.
I think it's one of those things like in the moment, yeah, you may be really annoyed and pissed, but in the long run, if you think about it from their perspective, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
like there's an understanding
Yeah,
there.
because like, oh dude, honestly, it was a moment when I was just thinking back on my past, like, obviously back then, like I said, I felt so annoyed by like, oh, you won't let me go out, you won't let me do anything,
Yeah,
you know. But then there was a moment like a few years ago where I just thought about things from my parents' perspective,
yeah.
and it just hit me so hard that like I
Yeah.
started crying and shit. I'm like, yo, you such a piece of shit for like even thinking this way or like talking to your parents this way, like just think about what they've done for you, and like it just made me like so happy that I felt so I was like so loved being raised. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. How about you, Josh?
I don't know if there's anything I would change.
Yeah.
I feel like I was brought up a lot less strict than most people were.
Yeah. Yeah.
In how they raised me and how how much freedom I had.
Yeah.
But I do believe they always kept an eye on me. I do regret a lot of shit I did because I was I was a big asshole back then. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Can you pass me a water too, Josh? Appreciate it.
I was a piece of shit as a kid, to put it lightly.
Piece of shit at what age though? Like, when did you start being a piece of
Start being a turd.
I started.
shit? Just step up.
I was a turd probably ever since grade 6.
6?
All the way until grade 11 even. I'm gonna say I was a piece of shit.
To like how you treated your parents sometimes,
Or
like just in general.
With I'm super stubborn when it comes to specific things. So if I generally didn't get into fights with my dad at all, but when I was a lot younger, fights with my sister, were really like pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Not necessarily physically. There's only like a couple times when it was like
Just
physical. Well, back then
Just all grass.
she was like 2 years older than me, which doesn't seem like much, but when you're younger, right? Obviously, 2 years makes a lot of difference in growth,
Yeah.
mentally and physically.
Yeah.
So she could be the shit out of me if she wanted.
Yeah.
And there was like some times when she did
Yep.
over arguments. But then like
Such assholes.
over time, like I think by the time I was like grade 6 or 7, then I could overpower her.
Even now?
So,
Can you overpower her now? Dude, she looks kind of jacked.
Obviously, I could overpower her now. She gotta do shit to me.
Dude, your sister kind of jacked though.
Yo.
I bully her.
Oh shit.
No.
Just straight up, I
Revenge.
bullied her.
It's revenge.
No, like if like I do this thing that like annoys them,
Oh yeah.
where I'll just go like this, and I'll just go like that. I'll just like, oh, he likes it.
Yeah, this guy's
But
weird.
And just like to show like that I'm stronger.
Yeah.
I'll just use 2 fingers and I'll just push him away.
Dominance.
But when I got into fights with my mom,
Yeah.
I think we're both very stubborn people. So
Yeah.
neither of us want to admit we're wrong.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time, since we're so stubborn, we don't believe we're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So we're blinded to that fact.
Yep.
So when I was younger, or when I was in like my rebellious phase, I guess, those fights would last like a week or 2.
That's
Dang.
Like for example,
With your mom or your sister?
with my mom.
Oh, with your mom.
Yeah, I didn't get in fights with my dad generally, because I just think we're similar enough that we understand each other. But with my mom, I think it was a lot of not wanting to be wrong to each other.
A lot of pride, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of believing I'm right
Yeah.
and I'm never going to be wrong. But I think we both thought that way about our arguments with each other.
Right.
For example, there was the one time that I went out with you, and you obviously know this because this happened when we were in the car, where I don't remember why. I think it was because I left. I wasn't allowed to leave that day
Okay.
for some reason because I was in trouble already, and I left anyways to hang out with you,
Right.
and I didn't tell her.
You didn't tell me either, dude.
No, you knew this because we were in the car,
Yeah.
and I was like, my mom called me and we were yelling at each other.
Oh.
It was like dark out. It was late
Yeah.
by this time.
Yeah.
That was one of those fights that lasted a really long time.
Yeah.
And that was like grade 10, right?
Right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't stop being a piece of shit. At least a big piece of shit. I'm sure I'm still a piece of shit, but I didn't stop being a massive piece of shit
Yeah,
until
yeah.
like grade 11, which is when I was like kind of like learned that I need to accept that I'm not always right, or that it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it to fight all the time.
I feel like you hit that early too, though,
11?
Early?
Grade 11?
because in my personal opinion, there's a lot of people out there who don't realize this truth.
True.
They don't know how to like empathize or like just basically try to think of it from the whole perspective, only think from their perspective until
Yeah.
they hit like later on like the 20s.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think through those fights, this is like why I won't change anything that happened in the past, even though I do regret what I did.
Right.
Because I learned from that,
Yep.
even though it was a negative experience, and it overall leads me to be a better person
Yeah.
per se, or more positive, I guess.
It's a good thing you can look back at that and go like, yeah, I was a shit back then.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you like say now like, oh no, I really liked my childhood. Nothing was wrong. Like I feel like there's still an issue with you, you know, somewhere.
This guy's fucked up still somewhere.
Somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because like,
I beat my siblings
because it's
every
like,
day.
it's hard.
Fuck yeah.
It's hard
I
to
don't.
learn
I
from
don't.
not making mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's very hard to learn from not making mistakes.
Well, for me, it's like it's definitely like I don't really remember having big fights with my parents ever, to be honest. Because for me, it's like I would just you know, of course, I was born in an Asian family, they're first generation, so I did get beat.
Yeah.
So obviously at the time, I'm like, why am I getting beat? You know, it doesn't make any fucking sense. I remember this one instance. You know, back when you were in elementary, you have planners,
Yep.
Yes.
and then you would write down the shit and you had to bring it home and everything.
sign it?
Get signed by your parents.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my planner home because I forgot. My mom beat the shit out of me. For what? I didn't bring my planner. You know, even to this day, I still can't understand what. But I look at that, I'm like, I don't really mind that she beat me. Because it's not the fact that, it wasn't that I brought my planner home or not. I think it was just she was really stressed out.
You were the scapegoat.
Yeah, it feels kind of weird just like rounded for me for my mom to release her anger on me, but I don't mind it because at the end of the day I don't feel like mentally scarred from it or anything. It's just
If anything, you liked it.
So
so
you liked D&D, huh?
No, it was
Huh?
you know I always looked up. I look back on every single beating I remember that's memorable to me, and I think about why I might have been beaten. Sometimes I was a piece of shit. Sometimes it was just my parents, just being they had a really rough day. And then I'm like, okay, well, even if you have a rough day, you shouldn't beat your kid. But then I thought back, like, what if I was my parent in this terrible situation? Would I do better? I don't know if I could do better. You know, I couldn't even answer that. So I can only understand and just be like, yeah, it is what it is.
You might think you could be better, but in the moment, if you don't know what would happen unless it does happen.
Exactly. Yes. I would say, I would never beat my kid in this situation. That's not true. I don't know. I wish I wouldn't. But if I were ever being put in like a financially tough situation, being treated like shit all day, come home, my kid forgets his one little thing, you know,
Really
I might snap. You know what I mean? I can't blame her, honestly. Yeah. So that's why I look back on it. I just reflect on everything. So that's why I feel really happy.
You had this crisis before, huh? Like
no, I hit this in grade 11. Yeah, grade 11. Yeah.
Grade 11. There you go.
It was a big
growing period, right?
Year of maturing.
Yeah. Maybe it's because we did a lot of shitty stuff in grade 10, though.
We were very bad people in grade 10. As a group, yes.
we were little shits.
Yeah.
We were all shits. We were all pieces of shit, like, by ourselves, and then we came together to become a massive turd.
Yo, that's better than shit, at least, you know? I guess that brings us to my last prompt, is, like, kind of saying, like, how are you guys different now? Like, anything you guys can pick out that makes you different from who you were, besides being, doing, like, regretful things? Like, for me, for example, like, I definitely... Now, I'm a lot more altruistic than I was when I was younger. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm the opposite.
You're the opposite?
I went from open to closed.
Yeah, after being sacked, I think you should.
No, yeah. But sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was just saying. Yeah, I don't know. Like altruism and like just respecting other people's, those things kind of like really expanded as I grew older.
Yeah.
You know, because as a kid, for me at least, I never thought about that. You know, I was just there to play with my 3DS and like vibe with other people. I wasn't thinking about others, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about myself, but. Yeah, I guess that's like one thing that makes me really different from who I was in the past.
Well, I think for me, even though I said like going from like open to closed, it's like definitely just after I hit that metamorphosis, I guess in grade 11.
Yeah.
You know, I was definitely a lot more respectful in general to everyone.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I realized like like I said, I try to put myself in other people's shoes, especially people who might treat me shitty.
Yeah.
Even I tried to do it with strangers, but I gave up on that for a while. Because I was working at McDonald's and I was like, this person might have had a good day. I'm like, sometimes I don't give a fuck, but you make me have a bad day now. So it's like for me currently, I feel like it's a mix of how I was from grades from being born up to before high school, and then that mid period of high school. I'm a mix of those two kids because I feel like I'm reverting back to when I was a kid, just being open and happy in general.
Yeah.
But I also hold those attributes of like being alone and stuff like that, and like being more self-centered from high school.
Yeah.
Because I try to be more open too, like giving and stuff.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm like, it's all about me though. not to say I'm like I'm super self-centered. I don't think I am at least.
I think
no.
It's a good thing to be self-centered.
To some extent.
I think it's a good thing to be selfish.
Selfish, yes, that's what I mean.
Yes.
It's a good thing to be selfish because if you're too giving, then you're just being taken advantage of. That's how I see it.
Exactly. Especially
even if the people don't mean to be taking advantage of you, you're basically making them take advantage of you yourself.
We know a person on Discord that is always pretty much being taken advantage of in a way.
Is this?
It's a girl.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've known her for a long time, and she's been like that for a long time. And the thing is,
and she's gonna watch this podcast.
She's not gonna watch the podcast.
Want to bet?
I'm not betting you. If you tell her, you can't tell her to watch it. But
I'm not gonna tell her. I won't tell her to watch it. I won't tell her anything about it.
Yeah.
But if it comes up in conversation,
would she even know who she is?
Oh, good question.
I'm not. Anyway, let's move off before she realizes. But yeah, like as an example for her, it's like I've seen her being pretty much like not taken advantage of really negatively.
Yeah.
But just being pushed around, and I'm like when I it's because of her. I see her that I'm be like, nah, I'm gonna take care of my own shit. I'm gonna be selfish. I'm not gonna let myself be pushed around like that.
Yeah. I also feel like if you're not selfish, like giving to a certain point, you'll start to feel bad if you don't give anymore. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, I can't help my friend out, so I feel bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got your own life. You got your own values. You gotta take care of yourself, right?
Because a lot of times for me, I'm like, my first thing is, my thing is, how am I supposed to take care of others if I can't take care of myself?
Exactly. That's a quote.
That's
a quote.
Yeah, but I've heard that so much. Like I really thought about it. I'm like, because when if you ever do those quizzes in like those random quizzes in like BuzzFeed or something, you want to be like the hero, but then the hero has like all these attributes. Where like I would give my life in a second.
Yeah.
But then I would look at that. I'm like, of course I would ideally want to do that, sure.
Yeah.
But then when I look at it realistically, I'm like, I though? I really wouldn't.
I think realistically, you could only do that for like people like family.
Yeah.
You know?
For people you really care about.
Like I'm sorry, boys, but like, if one of us is dying, it's not me.
Bro, like I'm saying, like, listen, if there was a bullet being pointed at both of you guys, any of you guys, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
And I expect the same thing from you guys though. Like, if there was being a gun pointed at me, I would never expect you guys to jump in front.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, like, if I ever expected that, I'm just being foolish to myself, to be honest. Because I need to know that, I need to realize that you guys have your own shit to take care of.
Yeah.
You know? You can't.
Okay, so would you jump in front of a bullet for your parents?
Yep.
Yes.
And my siblings.
And your siblings?
Yeah. I think that just has to do with their prevalence in your life, you know?
It's also like filial piety for me.
What is that?
It's when filial piety is like really prevalent in Asian culture, where you gotta like but it's basically when your parents raise you when you're younger, so then as they get older, you raise them.
Oh yeah.
Take care of them.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel. Obviously, it's not just because of the Asian culture, but it's also because all the love my parents have given me, so I want to reciprocate.
Yeah, for sure.
My I feel bad saying this, but I'd only do it for one set of grandparents.
That's fair.
I feel kind of bad.
If they're more prevalent in your life, that makes sense.
I'm much closer to one set. I'm not gonna say which set. I'm much. No, I
think that's completely fine.
I think that's I mean, you can't be close to everyone.
Yeah.
Because like, I understand why. You said you would jump in front of a bullet for your parents. I wouldn't. But you gotta wait because I have a reason.
But wait,
there's more.
Hold on.
So my idea is that if I jump in front of a bullet for my parents, that's my part. Or like, sure, there's my brother and sister, but that's my part of our family's legacy. Gone.
I see what you're saying now.
They've already. I know this sounds.
No, I know what you're saying.
This is gonna sound kind of retarded, cold, yeah. I should not have said that word, but I did anyways. Yeah. I just hope no one's a snowflake and is gonna call me out for that.
Don't say that either. No, bleep this out.
No, I keep this in. I don't care.
I keep this in.
So, there's the legacy part.
Yeah.
There's also
continuing the lineage.
Yeah. There's also thing they've lived, and this is where it sounds cold, for 50 years now.
Yep.
And I don't want to say that like I don't want it to sound like
objectively.
Yes.
I think I see what you're saying. Objectively.
Logically, it would make sense for me to live on.
Yeah.
Because I haven't lived. Because like they've lived that much longer than I have.
Right.
Brother and sister, would I? Would I really?
I mean, I guess on top of
you're the youngest technically.
I am the youngest.
Yeah.
Oh, you are. You straight up are, yeah.
Yes. Not technically.
I was thinking because you're twins, so then like.
But
you could be considered same.
2 minutes older than I am.
Bro. Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of.
He lives 2 minutes. He has 2 minutes more experience. You gotta live longer.
Exactly. Maybe it's just selfish, but I think I would keep myself before I jumped in front of a bullet for my brother or sister.
But honestly, like on top, like I think another argument is like your parents and your family, they put so much effort in to raise you, right?
Yeah, to get you to live.
Yeah. So I think that's what the parents.
The only person I would jump in front of a bull for is my girlfriend.
I was about to say Lila,
and that's it.
Sorry, I shouldn't. Whatever. But I think you're right though. Like your parents put so much effort to raise you.
Yeah.
So I hope that I don't die to the shot.
Bro, like you're literally their project.
Yeah.
You're the lava fucking eruption shit in science fair.
That was a weird example, but
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Say-
You take
You're their masterpiece.
Yeah.
on God.
Yeah, because
They worked on this many years,
Yeah.
doing their best to perfect you.
I think another reason why I'm okay with jumping from the toilet and possibly dying is even
You're
though
suicidal. Yeah.
what is this?
It's a cake, right?
No, but it's what's it? Because number one, from my parents, even though I know for a fact, if I ever died, jumping from a bullet from my mom or my dad, my mom would fucking hold it on herself. To be honest,
Yeah.
I know for a fact.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I wanted to live on because I have 2 younger siblings that can continue for me. That's literally why I think to myself. Because because I think it's because they're both my younger siblings and I'm older than them, and growing up, I've taken care of them. I don't really want to see either of them die before I do. I want to die first out of all the siblings.
That's true.
I'd rather die first out of everyone. But that's in order.
In order. Yeah. So you first, the brother,
And then my sister last. Yeah. That's
the
how I see
dog, and then the parent.
it. Dog? Say dog?
How do you think you're gonna die?
I hope I die peacefully. Just like
To what though?
I just imagine this is the most peaceful death I can imagine.
Can't be to old age because that possibility is near zero.
What, really?
That's crazy.
Why?
Because there's always going to be some complication that your old age is a factor, but it's not why you died.
Well, I hope I honestly have no idea.
Like a heart attack is amplified by old age, but you don't die from old age. You die from the heart attack.
Old age is like your cells just stop producing.
Honestly, like dying old age is low key scary, right? Because I have a grandma in Vietnam. Actually, she's like really old, and all she's doing right now is just lying in the bed all day, being fed by a tube. Like she's pretty much like a living skeleton in the bed right now, and that's like, do I really want to go out that way, or would I go out skydiving? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about going
That'd be
skydiving.
fucking lit.
I don't know about that. You want to hit the?
Okay.
You want to splat on the ground?
Yo, but the last memory you have
memorable.
is jumping out of a fucking plane.
No, the last memory you have is realizing your parachute doesn't open.
Oh, but the parachute was never meant to open.
So you're just killing yourself.
Yes.
That's different. So you want about suicide? Okay.
Okay, well here. I have this thing where Alzheimer's
I think
runs.
the camera just died.
Oh, I did. Whatever.
Alright, well, I guess we just.
We're already at hour 12 and a
Hour
half.
12.
Yeah, we'll just wrap it up.
So, if I were to, Alzheimer's runs on my dad's side of the family.
That's not good.
That's not
So
good, bro.
my odds of getting it are higher.
Yeah.
If I ever get Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
I will ask my kid or whoever has permission to do so
Yeah.
to cut off my power supply.
Cut the cord.
Cut the cord. If I'm going to be, because basically I'm not going to be who I was
You don't even
before
know who you are
Alzheimer's.
anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're just living.
and I don't think there's a point in living then.
Yeah, you're
You
living.
you can't build memories,
You're
Same
living.
thing
Are you
with-
alive?
Yeah, if I'm stuck in a hospital bed for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
even if I'm like,
40.
40. 40's
oh
young.
wait, am I stuck in a hospital bed for the rest of my life? No matter
Starting
what.
at 40.
No matter what, I can't.
Well, how about if it's no matter what, you're probably gonna cut the cord, right?
Yeah.
But let's say there is a slim chance for you to recover.
If there's a slim chance for me to recover, I will
Okay.
stay alive. If at any point in my life I'm unable to move, like I'm full
Paraplegic.
paralyzed. Is that what paraplegic is?
I think it is, right?
I don't know.
Shit.
But-
I might be reading that as wrong.
At any point in my life, if I am 100% paralyzed, I would rather die.
Makes sense.
Really?
If my quality of life goes down to the point where I don't feel like living is a good enough quality of life, I'd rather die.
But what about like Stephen Hawking though? Like he was basically completely paralyzed, except for he was completely paralyzed, but he could still like think and he could still experience things.
I think the thing is,
To what
like,
extent, though?
Yeah, he can only experience it to some extent, but the thing is,
He was also a fucking genius.
yeah,
Well, for me, it's like I guess it depends on how eventful or how much you can entertain yourself with just being able to be pushed around and all that.
I can't. No,
I don't know, I feel like I might be able to do that for a while.
I wouldn't.
for a while.
I can't even imagine living life blind or deaf.
Well, me neither, because we're not.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I went blind or deaf, I'd be okay. Blind or deaf, okay, not both. If it was both,
If it was both, kill me. If it's one, I will do my best, but
Yeah.
there's no guarantee
Yeah.
that I would want to live.
you'd rather be deaf or blind, right?
I would rather. Yes, I think
Yeah.
I would rather be deaf.
Cause I feel like after having vision, not having vision is like.
And we're talking about like this is irreparable. You can't have what are those things called? There's the ear
Yes,
ear
those
aids.
ear aids,
I forget what they're actually called.
I think they're hearing aids.
Hearing aids.
Hearing aids, but there's a specific one that works
Okay.
really well. I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
But if it was like irreparable damage to the point where not a hearing aid won't help anything,
Yeah.
like I don't know.
You wouldn't be living?
I don't know if I would.
I don't think it's
Rather.
that bad, to be honest.
The hearing aid thing?
Yeah.
No music. Music is such a big part of my life.
Beethoven. He was deaf.
Yeah, but
Yo,
he
felt
has
that
maybe he
music
has a
thing.
stronger mental than I do.
I think it's just like because right now we can only imagine what it is like to be deaf, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we have to live the moment.
Yeah, there's a
to find
possibility
out.
I might change my mind if it actually did happen.
Yeah.
But at this point in time,
Yeah.
that's just my thoughts on it.
That's fair, yeah.
Because I believe in like that. It sounds like very
Privileged.
I don't know about privilege, but like self-centered to say that like I'm sure a lot of people think this
Just say
to
it,
some
bro.
extent.
Just say it.
Like I'm different. No, not in like the sense of like the
No,
meme,
Yeah.
but like that I'm like actually different than everyone else, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not meaning that to say like the universe rotates around me,
Yeah.
but like I'm different so that
I think the same thing.
none of that shit's gonna happen to me ever.
Yeah.
Which is a dangerous way of living in a sense.
Yeah.
That believing I'm not gonna die
Yeah.
Of course.
tomorrow, for example, to a car crash or some random shit.
Right.
Like it could happen,
Right.
but I just mentally feel like it'll never happen to me.
No, I feel the exact same way, to be honest. And
Which is like I feel like it's super dangerous.
I think this way of thinking. Well, do you feel that way too, Jeff?
Yeah, I do.
I think this way of thinking comes from us being young. to
yeah,
be
that's
honest.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as we grow older, we realize that we may be individually different, but we're still human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
'Cause even though I say that right now, I can't feel that.
Yeah.
I can't accept it.
Yeah, and it's like the last thing I want to do, or the thing I want to happen the least when I die, is to be forgotten about.
Of course. That's
Because once you, like, I think I heard this online. When you die, you still exist because people remember you.
Yeah.
At the exact moment you're dead, and no one knows who you are anymore.
Yeah.
You cease to exist.
Yep. Literally. Yeah.
Because there'll be, if you haven't done anything significant, it won't be in any books. It won't be online. And the internet's gonna die eventually.
You think?
I think so.
Possibly. Possibly.
We'll say this. We'll say this for it. Yeah.
Because I think like it'll maybe not die, but it'll evolve to a point that what we currently use
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
doesn't
A
exist
different-
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the point where no one remembers you,
Mhm.
even if you have stuff online.
Mhm.
If no one knows who you are or no one knows anything about you,
Yeah.
they can't search anything up that would relate to you.
Yeah.
And even if they did, they don't know who you are, so they don't give a shit about that. So you're pretty much ceased to exist,
Yeah. You're gone.
I'm like thinking, right? Like.
and that's what scares me the most.
That
Yeah.
is scary.
Like I'm thinking like for us, like if we were to, like, do our like great grandparents cease to exist for us?
Well, that's the thing. When Josh was saying that, I've thought about this before too. But like, I don't know who my great parent is, right?
Yeah.
So like to me, I never even learned about them.
Yeah.
My mom's grandmother, I've heard of,
Yeah.
right? But I don't know who they are, so they don't
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And only only the people that are currently alive in the generation before me can only carry their legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that,
But when they die,
Yeah.
after
they'll
I
have
become,
ceased to exist to an extent. You know who they are, so
Yeah.
maybe they exist in that sense. But
But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
as a individual with a name,
Yeah.
I think it's like
they'll
yeah.
cease.
Like I'm pretty sure all this fear, all this way of thinking is honestly just from us being young right now.
Yeah.
We just haven't.
Maybe.
I really hope that way because I don't want to think like this for the rest of my life. No,
I think I will. I think
Really?
my main goal is to be written down in history.
So yeah.
Obviously, not for something negative.
Theft.
Theft.
They just randomly have this whole section just for Josh. Theft.
More awards coming.
I just want to be. Fuck off.
It wasn't even like a bank. It was more awards points. 100.
Yeah, as long like I just want to be written down in history, and I want to be like known.
I want to be known. That's another thing I thought of too before. Yeah, I would like to be known, but I haven't really put too much thought about how I'm going to be known.
Yo, who knows? Maybe this will be the outlet for us.
We gotta touch people.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us so we don't forget us.
Yeah, bro.
Never forget.
Write our names in history.
Yeah. Just wait, bro.
Tell us to all your friends, and then we have a larger chance of continuing on in your
in existence. Yeah.
in existence. Yeah. So if you tell your friends, and you get those friends to tell their friends, and if you subscribe to us, then you ring the bell, then you'll be notified whenever we put something out, and then that'll make sure that you don't forget about us, and we will continue to exist.
True.
So if you could do that for us, please. Also give the video a like and comment.
And
comment what you'd like to see.
Yeah, what you'd like us to talk about next.
I felt today was actually a pretty productive combo.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was cool.
Yeah, talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Well, outro. Anyone else want to do it?
Shawty not.
I'll try. I can't remember exactly what it was, but thanks for listening to the SUMDAYS podcast. We were just talking with the boys about our childhoods and went a little tangent at the end there.
Yeah.
Of course, we have Josh. You can find him on Instagram.
Yeah.
At
Oh.
You might have to put that on yourself, Josh. What's your Instagram again?
Joshua.david.Kanai.
How do you spell Kego?
Not gonna bother telling you.
You just subscribe to the podcast and you'll know eventually.
True.
And then you can find Jet also on Instagram at I believe is jet.lle.
Yo,
2 L's.
You nailed that.
Right? Yes.
Fuck
Jet
yeah.
Lee. And then you can also find me on Instagram or real life. Don't stop me though. I'm down to talk. At JIEUGO. And that's it for the podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Peace.